From the Aishan Broadcast Studio, it's Power Players, brought to you by DX1.
So if you were involved in a motorcycle accident, do you want to go to the divorce attorney who advertises divorce, bankruptcy, personal injury, or do you want to go to a guy who says, we only do motorcycles?
Oh, I mean, the motorcycle guy.
Exactly. Like, yeah. I ride a Harley Davidson. When my bike is broke down, I'm taking it to my local Harley mechanic or my local Harley shop. I'm not taking it to the Honda shop. I love Hondas. I have Honda dirt bikes, but I don't cross the two. The streams don't cross.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, to answer your questions, I don't know why people would not be looking at and hiring a law firm that is exclusively focused to motorcycle accidents. The problem is the legal industry. Lawyer thinks they can practice every type of case.
MPN's Power Player is sponsored by DX1. Connect every part of your dealership with DX1's cloud-based, all-in-one solution, offering a certified DMS, lead manager, website, marketing tools, and more. All built into one smart, seamless solution. Visit dx1app.com for more information.
Welcome to Motorcycle and Powersports News Power Player. I'm your host, Brian Ankney. Today our guest is Lyonel Gammon from Law Tigers. Welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Hey, we're really happy to have you here. I'd like to dive right into some content. Let's talk about insurance. Everybody thinks they have full coverage, and maybe they do have what's called full coverage, but is that really full coverage?
Oh man, you're hitting a sore spot with me. So we as the Law Tigers, of course, we're not an insurance company.
Yeah.
But we want to educate people on the proper insurance coverages. So you talk full coverage. You and I think of full coverage as our tank. Mm-hmm. My motorcycle tank, when it is full, it is full. I cannot put any more in it, and I'm the bad guy who I literally want to see that level. So I think of full coverage as my tank is 100% full. In reality, what full coverage is, that is the state's minimum requirements that is set by the state legislatures and the insurance companies. So that's the bare minimum you should have to protect yourself. So let's just talk about general numbers. Mm-hmm. Your full coverage could be like $25,000, $50,000 coverage. Seems like a lot of money to me. If you gave me $50,000 right now, Brian, I'd be happy as can be.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if I was involved in an accident, is that $50,000? Is that $20,000? Is that going to be enough to take care of me? And it's really not.
No.
And they tell you full coverage, and they sell us on this 15% to save, 15 minutes to save 15%, or whatever the company's pitching right now.
Yeah.
But in reality, we need to have proper insurance coverages. We need to be protected, because I personally am not going to trust somebody else out there on the roadway.
No,
I've got to take it upon myself.
Yeah.
But it's a travesty. Let's use a big word. It's a travesty that the insurance companies will say, full coverage, we've got you. Don't worry about it. You've got everything you need. They're not telling you about all of the other coverage options that are there. Now, granted, they're not free.
Yeah.
You've got to pay for them. But for me, it's worth the investment. I literally look at my insurance. My insurance is an investment, not a personal charity. And I believe that most people, especially like for us in the motorcycle world, they think their insurance is like their personal charity. Like, if heaven forbid I'm in an accident, my insurance guy's got me. That's not the truth. They have stakeholders and shareholders, and their job is, how do we keep Brian's money and pay him as little as possible if we have to?
DX1 is the only all-in-one dealership management solution for the motorcycle and power sports industry. The perfect combination of a DMS, website, and suite of marketing tools that encourages dealers to invest in their customers and not into separate software to run their dealership. All of the components of DX1 work seamlessly together to increase their staff's efficiency while allowing dealers to be with their customers rather than behind a computer screen duplicating data entry. OEM integrations, automated scheduling, and smart customer notifications combine with the real-time flow of data throughout the dealership to simplify tasks and improve day-to-day operations, all within one system and one login. This secure, cloud-based solution is accessible everywhere and has proven to be a crucial asset in the success of many powersports dealerships today. Contact DX1 now and see why others are switching to the only all-in-one powersports dealership management solution. DX1.
What is a comfortable number? I mean, for me to feel safe that if I'm in an accident, I mean, I got hurt ice skating and it costs $40,000.
There you go.
And I mean, so $40,000.
Note here is Brian's not getting on the ice anymore if you're hitting up $40,000 bills.
Well, I was playing hockey. I mean,
Okay.
I was playing hockey, but yeah, I mean, I didn't fall off a motorcycle or get hit by a semi truck. I mean,
Yep.
what are the typical bills looking like?
So it's hard to say how much dollar value you actually need because you've got different injuries, different values, different hospitals, different bills. The best thing I would say is you have to understand you have to be able to afford it. And I think most of us, when it comes to, for example, my first motorcycle, I didn't think of insurance. I thought of how much is it going to cost me and can I make the monthly payment?
Yeah.
And when I bought my first bike, I didn't even think about riding gear. I just wanted the bike. So then I got this motorcycle and my folks are like, hey, I was a kid at the time. They're like, well, what about a jacket? What about a helmet? What about gloves and boots? I'm like, oh, I don't have any money for that stuff. I didn't think through, right?
Yeah.
So I think the better question is not how much, but how much can we afford and what's the best policies that we can have? So I'll give you an example, Brian. Most people have never heard of these two insurance coverages. It's called uninsured and underinsured. Now I emphasize those two because uninsured, so somebody who literally has zero insurance. So you and I are taking a ride down the road here, enjoying a lovely day, and somebody who has let their insurance lapse. They're a good person, but they're just not paying their bill, takes you and I out. If they don't have insurance, what are we going to do?
Yeah, we're in trouble.
We're in deep trouble. That $40,000 bill from the ice for you is going to turn into $140,000 for me and $140,000 for you that we've got to now come up with because that individual decided not to pay that coverage. So what do we do? Well, we have to have uninsured motorist coverage. You can have as much as you want. I'll tell you, Brian, you and I have built a relationship. I'll tell you right now, on my policy, I'm $250,000, $500,000 in my uninsured motorist coverage. So heaven forbid, if that ever happens to me or my family, I have come into an agreement, if you will, with the insurance company that that's what my policy is worth. And then I did the same thing in underinsured. So underinsured, guess what under is? Anyone who has full coverage.
Oh.
Because they're underinsured to protect me. They're underinsured to protect themselves. Because heaven forbid, let's say a life flight, I'd hate to happen to anybody, but that's an expensive bill. I mean, that's $20,000. And if your state minimum requirement's $20,000, guess what?
Wow.
Money's gone.
Yeah, you're done. Your insurance policy's done before you even see a doctor.
Correct. You're not even healthy yet. You're not even back to normal yet.
Yeah.
So to actually say how much money you need, that's hard. Because that would be like pulling out the crystal ball and saying, okay, I'm going to be in the accident on the 12th and I'm going to have this much damages. We don't know those things. But you have to be willing to prepare for the worst and know that it could happen. It's unfortunate, but you have to be able to do that and also live within your means, right? I mean, I'm a prime example of it. I bought that motorcycle without an insurance because I bought it from a private party. I had no clue. Didn't think that through.
So I guess what you're saying is you want to get the policy that you're comfortable with that you can also afford.
Yes. And understand that, there's risk involved in life and everything. Not just for us, it's motorcycle riding, but we all take risks, whatever it is. What are you comfortable with? How do you go about doing that and how do you feel that's best? But your insurance agent, and again, Law Tigers does not do insurance. We're a law firm.
Yeah.
But we also know all their tricks and their games so that we can take care of our clients better. But your law firm, for some reason, I don't understand this, will not sell you better insurance. Brian, you and I go to lunch. We're going to go to lunch, and the sweet waitress is going to come up and say, hey, would you like an appetizer? We're going to say, no, we don't want it. We're going to order a meal. Then she's going to offer us dessert. Why? It's called an upcharge. She's upselling us. She wants to make more money for the company, and she knows that you're a good guy, I'm a good guy. We're going to tip her 20% on the bill.
Yeah.
She's going to make more money. Why is it the insurance doesn't sit you down and say, Brian, here's everything you can have. Pick what you want. Instead, they say, here's your full coverage, Brian. See you later. Goodbye. It's like they're underselling themselves because they're afraid to have to ever pay the money out, but yet we pay a premium for that.
Yeah.
So it's this weird, I don't even know how you describe it because, again, I'm not in the insurance world. I'm on the legal side, but I don't know how the business operates because they bait and switch us all day, every day, and make you think, oh, I've got all this great insurance. You get excited, you jump on the motorcycle and go for a ride knowing you're protected, but then you find out, oh, full coverage is the bare minimum of what you need.
Well, now, how does that affect the bike itself? I mean, as far as, I mean, say, let's say you get in an accident and knock on wood, you're not injured, but your bike's destroyed. And very few bikes stay the way that the factory built them, right?
None do.
None do. Yes.
In my opinion, it should be a law. You buy a motorcycle, you have to customize it.
Yeah, I mean, like your bikes. There's, I imagine, like, how do you protect your bikes?
So there's a couple things you can do. The first thing you can do is, the easiest is, everybody says save your receipts, right? Save your receipts so you know exactly what you spent. That's great. If you're dealing with a good, reputable company, sometimes that'll work. But at the end of the day, they're going off of Kelley Blue Book, NADA values. Regardless of what you've done to it, they're going to tell you, you took that risk, Brian, by putting that extra exhaust on. And you're going to say, well, it cost me $1,500. Help me out here.
Yeah.
We're going to say, no, you made that decision. But the value of your motorcycle has not changed because of the exhaust. So what I do with mine is, you actually do what's called stated value. So stated values, you meet with your insurance agent, whoever it may be, or broker. You can do this online sometimes by yourself. You save all those receipts, and then you actually identify to the insurance company, this motorcycle to me is worth X. And if the company's willing to work with you, it's not like you're breaking the rules here. Some companies don't like to use stated value. They will then insure your motorcycle, in this instance, to the value you say it is. But there's a premium to that. Again, you have to pay for it. They're looking at you going, okay, Brian really knows his stuff now, and he wants extra value for that bike. Well, we'll do it, but he's got to pay more to get it.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, I've said this before. But you and I have had this conversation. People don't understand that you get what you pay for. So if you're paying for state minimum coverage, that's what you're going to get.
That's what you're going to get.
And you feel happy right now when you pay for it, but when you need it, wow, it really hits you upside the head. Same thing with the value of it. In the legal world, we call that property damage. That's the physical damage. When the motorcycle accident occurs, heaven forbid, the bike is damaged, there's no more damages. It's done. What we know is broke is broke. When it comes to us, you and I, we've got medical treatments, you've got physical therapy, chiropractor, whatever may you need. There's a lot of other treatment that goes on where the property damage is easy. The bike's already broke. We know it's broke.
Yeah.
The body, we've got to go through. I mean, you got hurt on the ice.
Yep.
$40,000 worth. That was probably because there's physical therapy and MRIs and who knows what else you had to go through to actually identify what the problem was and then to correct and fix and solve it.
Yep. Well, and I had to get a walker.
Oh, there you go, man. That's classy. I can see you really jamming out on a rocker.
Yeah. I had big dogs. I had to keep them away from me.
But yeah, I mean, that's it. And again, I don't know why. Again, I don't work the insurance world. Why don't you sell us on this stuff? Why don't you educate us further? Why is it that you have to hear from a guy who works for a law firm about having proper insurance coverages?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. They are like at a race to the bottom is how I feel. It's save as much money as physically possible, as fast as possible, come to my company. Why? Like, just educate me. Show me what I need and show me how it would benefit my life if I need it, and I'm going to feel a whole lot better about it.
Yeah.
Just me, though. Again, I'm not the insurance guy. That's why I don't work for insurance. They don't want me.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good idea. Like, I mean, is it a good idea to go to the cheapest barber in town?
Correct.
Or do you want to eat at the cheapest restaurant in town?
Yes.
Like, do you want to go to the cheapest doctor? Like,
But yet, in the airport, I saw an ad just the other day of it was a Meta ad or whatever it was, actually advertising cheap automotive insurance. It's like $5 a month or something. And I'm like, people,
wow.
the society we live in, yeah, we want to deal, we want to save, but there's certain things we don't save on. I'll save on my barber before I save on my insurance.
Yeah,
I can put a hat on.
That's
right?
true.
But I'd like to have the head if there's an accident afterwards.
Well, I mean, the way you and I are going, like, maybe they should give us a discount,
Exactly.
right? Like,
Yeah.
I got a lot
you
less to
can
cut.
save that 15%, okay?
Yeah.
But you're right. Why is it that we don't actually get educated properly in what the value is? Because in my opinion, I think an educated consumer is a better spending consumer. Yeah. Whether you're talking insurance, whether we're talking the motorcycle industry, the power sports industry, if you're educating your client on your newest vehicle, they get more excited to buy it.
Oh, absolutely.
Something drew them into your dealership, right? Something said, wow, I love that pearl metallic red. Not what's got him in there, but then you tell them about, oh, well, it's got this. He's now getting excited about it. You know, a good salesman is going to say that to the wife about a motorcycle. This motorcycle has ABS brakes. It's got this, it's got that. And she's going, wow, my husband's going to be safe. Or vice versa, my wife is going to be safe on this bike. Yeah. Now you're excited about the purchase, not just the element that drew you in, but insurance, we kind of get handcuffed by the law saying you have to have this. Okay, great. So I'm here to get it. I'm forced to do it. But now educate me and let me make a wise decision for myself instead of, in my opinion, again, tricking me into a full coverage situation that really means nothing.
Let's talk about a happier topic.
Yes.
We're gonna shift gears here and talk about Sturgis. You recently were at Sturgis.
Man.
How do you feel it was this year versus other years that you've been there, and did you have a great time?
Sturgis is like my heaven, my utopia. This year was my 17th year in a row.
Really?
Going to the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. I always love the rally. I enjoy every minute of it. I don't know any other place, and I don't know any other culture that brings that many like-minded people together for a 10-day segment. I'm a part of other communities that I'm passionate about and I enjoy, but nothing does what Sturgis can do. And it's always so refreshing to be there and see it. And, it's funny. I've got friends of mine that are like, oh, you go to Sturgis. That's pretty scary. That's pretty sketchy. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, you got to understand that we all are the same people. Like, we have the same common interest. But in my opinion, the rally was phenomenal. They did a great job at putting it together. And I say they, not meaning just the city, because you've got the city that, owns the rally, and they put a lot of stuff on. But then you have all the supporting campgrounds, the supporting bars. And to me, they don't work well enough together as a unit. But individually, man, they put together one heck of a rally. And it was great. I think attendance numbers were a little down, what I was anticipating, being that this year was the 85th annual. I thought we'd see a little higher numbers, kind of like the 75th. But they weren't there. But I think we also live in a different world now. And I think that not only is it's not as important as it once was to go to the rally.
Why do you feel that way?
I don't know. To me, you got political stuff going on. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but you've got, I think, economical stuff is going on.
Yeah.
Interest rates. I mean, most of your people, the dealers, are singing the blues right now because units aren't selling. Whether that's a motorcycle, side-by-side, cars, trucks, whatever it is, stuff's really not selling right now, and I think that's in part to interest rates.
Oh, absolutely.
It's hard to actually convince someone to buy that unit at 9%.
Yeah, for 84 months.
Yes.
Or these crazy terms.
Yeah, I mean, here, for 10 years, you can have this deal, but I think it's the interest rates are really hurting us right now, and I think that the community as a whole, the motorcycle community as a whole, is saying, okay, motorcycling is my passion, but I also have to juggle that with my life. Now, I intertwine the two, but not everyone does that. And so I think the rally was suffering just a little bit in the attendance numbers because of that. I think people aren't able to actually make the financial contribution to do it.
Gotcha.
Because not only is it, can I afford to have that new motorcycle? Maybe they're riding an older bike, they've paid it off, they've had it for a long time. It's not cheap to go to the motorcycle rally. You've got your housing, your meals. When you're there, you want to go see the entertainment.
Yeah.
So now you're buying concert tickets. And let's be honest, I mean, everyone's having a good time, so those bar tabs are only going up and up and up.
Yeah.
And so you have to be able to navigate and control that. So, I mean, for the most part, I think the attendance numbers were down, but I don't think anybody was there is going to complain that it was a bad rally. I think everyone had a great time, and it's again, I think if the world stays, let's call it as cuckoo as it is currently, I think the rallies are only going to go up because we need an escape.
You need a break.
And it's a place that, I mean, when I'm at the rally, news doesn't exist, family exists, of course, but after that, I don't know anything else except for that 100-mile radius of the Black Hills. The world could have fallen off, and I would have no clue because I'm on my bike through the Black Hills, smiling with bugs in my teeth, happy as can be. So
nice.
I don't know what the world's like. So I do think with the crazy world we live in, I think the rally, Sturgis, the Laconias, Daytonas, all the big, big rallies, I think we'll see an increase. I think everything that was old is new again. And those baby boomers really kept the motorcycle community of the rallies alive. I think the younger generation are going to see that, and they want to be a part of that eventually. And I think we're going to see a big increase. Like Sturgis, we'll sit down here at the Sturgis 100th, and we'll be like mind blown. It was massive, bigger than we've ever anticipated.
Probably have flying motorcycles by then.
Better not. I don't want one of those. I'm trying to listen. I'm not even a real fan yet of the electric bikes. I can't get behind them. I love my dinosaur juice. I love the knowing of that combustion engine right in front of me is just firing, shooting those pistons. I just can't get behind an electric bike yet. They're amazing. I love riding them.
Yeah, they're fast.
But I don't own one yet.
Yeah.
I say yet. We'll see what happens.
All right, Blake, I have one last question about Sturgis.
Yeah.
everybody at the beginning of football or baseball or any season, it's like, how much is a beer this year? So how much is a light beer at Sturgis this year?
I thought it was $8.
$8? That's not too
I think
bad.
it was $8.
That's not too bad.
And the city did something kind of unique. I think they started this last year. Don't quote me on this, but they opened up and did an open container through parts of the Sturgis downtown area, which has never been done before. So I don't know if that helps or hurts or hinders. Some of the numbers that I saw post-rally actually were saying that DUIs were down, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I always get nervous. I do not condone, in my opinion, you should never drink and ride. It's just two things that don't mix. So I think the $8 charge is probably the sweet little spot that people are still willing to do it, but not
Overdo
going to
it.
overdo it is what I would hope. But there's also shuttle systems and everything else there. Have you been to Sturgis?
I haven't.
Okay, so Brian, put on your bucket list. 26, you're going.
All right.
We're going. I'm gonna take you to Sturgis and show you exactly what you're missing out on. And then you can tell me what we're missing out on or what you need to see more of. But
yeah,
I think it was pretty economically affordable. But you do, just the beer. You can't just live on beer.
Yeah, you got to eat food.
And then the food, that's where I think the prices are pretty high. I mean, you're $20 plus for a little burger.
Oh, wow.
And I think it's just people understand everyone's got to eat and they all want to make money. So we're going to give you a little bit of a gouge.
Yeah, well, I guess it's a vacation.
100%.
So if you dedicate $100 a day for your food and your beer, you'll be full and you won't get a DUI.
Correct. And you don't want one in Sturgis, I'll tell you. I got pulled over this year in Sturgis. I didn't know they did this. I do not drink and ride. I got pulled over. The officer actually asked me to get off my bike and get in the front seat of his patrol car. And I was like, this is really awkward. Like, I'm sitting in the South Dakota Sturgis police cruiser. The officer is to my left. There is a loaded shotgun between us. I can see all of the gizmos and electronics that they use, the radar and everything. I can see what the radar speed when he pulled me over. And he was seeing if he could smell alcohol on me.
Oh, because he wanted you in there.
Because I asked him, I said, why am I in here? I'm like, this does not seem safe for you. If I'm a crazy, he's like, no, I need to be able to smell. And this was afterwards, of course. I asked this after I was cleared and let go. And, I'm like, why would you do that? And he's like, oh, it's because I can handle the situation. This is the officer speaking. And he's like, but that's an easy way to tell if I can smell anything. If it was a car, I could kind of lean in and smell. He goes, but in a bike, I can't. I got to get you in here. I think a misconception people have about the rally is they're just trying to generate funds. That the city and the state just want to get all of our money and they pop us on speeding tickets and DUIs. No. They realized that they had, 800,000 motorcycle riders there? They want us safe.
Yeah, they got to keep you safe. If 20 people die, what happens next year? They got to keep you safe. Yeah.
And unfortunately, some people do not know how to navigate that line. They press that line. So what does that do? You got to bring in more officers. You got to check more DUIs. You got to make sure people are safe and sound and protected. But I don't know. It was very interesting to sit in front seat of a patrol car with an officer, hearing the radio going off, and he's looking me up on the computer, and I can't see what he's doing, but it's all sitting right there. And there was that little thought in my head, from watching movies. I'm like, man, if I was a criminal, maybe I could grab that gun. Maybe I could get this cop car. Maybe I could get him out. Maybe I'm the only person that thinks that way, but those things went through my mind of like, okay, now squash that thought. We're not doing that, but I'm here.
Next year they're going to have you in handcuffs in the front of the seat because like last year you were thinking about
exactly.
shooting me.
They saw the interview. No, they're not going to put me in. They're going to say, oh, he said he doesn't drink and ride. Let's just search his bike.
Yeah, we'll just let him go.
Yep.
So we've talked about insurance, we've talked about Sturgis, we've talked about police officers, shotguns, handcuffs.
Let's go the way.
You do work for a law firm.
Yes.
And so let's talk a little bit about lawyer stuff.
Yeah.
Why does a motorcycle rider need a lawyer, or why is it better to have a lawyer who specializes in motorcycle accidents should that need arise?
So you talked about your accident earlier on the ice.
Yes.
Let's just go down that rabbit hole for a quick second here. If you were on the ice and you broke your arm, let's say compound fracture, bone is out of your body, okay? That's very morbid, I know. And you have a choice of a doctor. Are you going to go to the arm specialist or an ear, nose, and throat guy?
Oh, the arm specialist. Absolutely.
So if you were involved in a motorcycle accident, do you want to go to the divorce attorney who advertises divorce, bankruptcy, personal injury, or do you want to go to a guy who says, we only do motorcycles?
Oh, the motorcycle guy.
Exactly. I ride a Harley Davidson. When my bike is broke down, I'm taking it to my local Harley mechanic or my local Harley shop. I'm not taking it to the Honda shop. I love Hondas. I have Honda dirt bikes, but I don't cross the two. The streams don't cross.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, to answer your questions, I don't know why people would not be looking at and hiring a law firm that is exclusively focused to motorcycle accidents. The problem is the legal industry. Lawyer thinks they can practice every type of case. I'll give you an example here. Most law firms and most lawyers who say they can do any kind of personal injury, PI, case, has no clue that motorcycle laws are changing annually almost in every single state. People have no clue. So in the state, here's just a couple of state options to give you. The state of Utah just changed a law called lane filtering. So lane filtering is actually if you are at a stoplight and you are 3, 4, 5, 6 cars back as a motorcycle rider and the light is red, you can legally ride your motorcycle between the stopped cars to get to the front of the line for when that light turns green.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know that. What if I was involved in an accident where, let's say, a guy swerves as I'm lane filtering and I hire a local attorney, he's going to say that I was in the wrong because I was lane splitting. Now I'm out high and dry because the lawyer doesn't know the law. Utah, an example, we're going that route here, has another law. If you're the first vehicle as a motorcycle rider to make a left-hand turn on a red arrow and there's no traffic coming through, you can wait an appropriate amount of time, you can make the left-hand turn on red. The reason the state of Utah did that law is because they weight censor their roadways.
Oh, so it doesn't know the bike.
So a motorcycle doesn't weigh enough with a rider on it, and it actually will disrupt all traffic flow because the computer system at that intersection says there's no vehicle here, I don't need to cycle that light. In the meantime, motorcycle rider's sitting there, he's getting frustrated, and you've got 12 cars behind him laying on the horn because they can't turn left. So the state of Utah was very smart in saying, okay, we're going to pass these laws to help traffic flow.
Mm-hmm.
What if the lawyer doesn't know? The lawyer says, well, you got hit because you made an illegal left-hand turn, but the guy ran the red light and hit you. Two wrongs.
Oh.
No, technically, the motorcycle rider, had they followed the right procedures, was 100% legal. The guy who ran the red light was in the wrong. So that's why I use that example is specialize, specialize, specialize. If I'm involved in an accident on my motorcycle, I want a guy who is a law firm that knows exactly the ins, the outs of the law. I want them to know exactly what my values are. I want them to know what it's like to feel what it is to ride a motorcycle, to know what that freedom is. You can't explain that. If you've never been on a motorcycle, you don't know what it's like to throw your leg over and have that sense of freedom, to cut through a canyon road and feel the temperature climb and drop as you do it, to smell different things as you go. That's what motorcycling is all about. If I'm involved in an accident, I want a guy who knows what that's like. I want a law firm that can represent me for that. Not only the education piece of knowing the laws, but also someone who's like-minded like me. Because I'm going to get better taken care of from a friend than I am from anyone else. So that's why Law Tigers, that's why we were founded and developed by a lawyer who's a motorcycle rider. And literally, he had the inspiration as he was riding his motorcycle. He rode past some riders, and they gave each other that friendly wave, just waving their left hand out to each other, a sign of respect, the sign of I see you. And he had that aha moment of, those riders don't know me from Adam, but yet they wave at me, and they're respectful to me. Why can't I take my legal practice to divulge and to support them exclusively? And that's where Law Tigers, we're celebrating our 25th year now, with offices around the country exclusively representing motorcycle riders because of the respect riders have to each other, and because if you're involved in something, make sure you have someone who's well-educated that's representing you.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of talked about, you have the property damage, you have the importance of laws that are always changing, you have, the health and the ongoing, disability possibility. I mean, that's a pretty complex suit. It's a little bit more than divorce or bankruptcy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so you probably want somebody that has a lot of reps in,
Yeah. Well, you have a guy, if you're riding a customized motorcycle, you want them to at least know and appreciate what you're riding. You don't want them to go, oh, it's a motorcycle, so it's worth what, about a third the price of a car, right? That's not much. We'll make sure.
Was it about 10 grand?
You're like, yeah, that's it? Okay. It's like, no. Some of these bikes are 6 figures, depending on the bike and depending on who built it and who rides it. There's some serious value here. Don't undercut yourself, especially when we already talked about it, you're fighting insurance who doesn't want to pay you.
Yeah.
Let's make sure you've got a guy in your corner, a law firm who knows exactly what you're going through, They know your injuries. They know what it's been like. And ultimately, the sad thing about motorcycle riders is if we're impacted by an accident,
Yep.
we hit the ground.
Yeah.
We don't have that cage around us with 22 airbags and 9-point this and automatic braking. I mean, I have one motorcycle with ABS brakes on it. The rest of my bikes, I shouldn't say this, one of my bikes doesn't have a front brake.
Oh, really?
Okay? It's stupid, I know, but you know what? It's style. It's styles per miles is how I feel with that bike. But it's just different. So I want a guy who can actually represent me, a law firm that knows what that's like. To your point is there's a lot of variables at stake when it comes to a motorcycle accident. And I don't trust, again, if you go back to the cars, you go back to a bike, I don't trust a mechanic who says he can fix my Harley, he could fix my boat, he could fix my car, he could fix my plumbing. I need 3 individuals for everything that specialize in it. And I don't know why in society, the legal industry has said it's okay to just group that all as one.
Just pile it all in.
Yeah, pile it all in and say you're a one-stop shop for everything. They'll do your divorce, your bankruptcy, your slip and fall, and they'll write your will as well while you're at it.
Yeah.
Why? They're
Yeah.
specialties for a reason. I don't know. I don't get it. So that's why that's my pitch is if you ever need a motorcycle accident, if you've ever been involved in a motorcycle and you need representation, you need a lawyer, you've got to call the Law Tigers. We are the nation's only nationwide law firm that exclusively represents motorcycle riders. And on top of that, we don't only represent motorcycle riders, but we're part of the motorcycle industry. We're not just on the outskirts playing along. No, we work with major OEMs where we give away motorcycles. We try to help and give back to the motorcycle community. So it's not just we'll handle your case, but we're there alongside you. We know what it's like. We want to support you. We want to be a part of the industry because that's who we are. That's what we're about.
Well, I hate to end on a down note, but I did want to ask you, because we've talked about all these things that people will experience if they're in a motorcycle accident, and you've walked down that path. So maybe if you could just shed a little light on your personal experience, when you had an accident.
Yeah, I always say it this way. I've paid my tribute to Mother Road in blood. I've done it before. I know what it's like. I've been on the good side of it with a good law firm that, it was actually the Law Tigers that represented me and took care of me. I've been on the bad side where I tried to do it on my own. And the bad side, I literally had a gentleman come and try to just get me to accept a quick check. And it was more or less shut up money. Here you go, we're gonna give this now. And they treated me like we were best friends, like high school buddies, dated his sister type of a situation, like just friends. And I didn't know the guy from Adam. And at the end of the day, the goal was to get me to accept that amount of money to just shut me up, to end it. And I learned through that the 2 different dynamics of what it actually is like and what the differences are. With a lawyer, they deal with a complete separate side of the legal industry and the insurance industry. So for example, when I have a claim, like I have an incident where I handled it myself, I had a claims adjuster. The second I hired a lawyer, it goes to a better claims adjuster. So it's like you go to the next level now. You're not playing minor league anymore, you're now playing pro ball. And things got done a lot quicker. For me, it was effortless. I did nothing. I focused on recovery when I had the Law Tigers beside me. When I did it by myself, I had to focus on recovery, but I had to follow up with phone calls. I had to pull doctor's reports. I had to get faxes sent. I had all these different things to do on top of trying to get healthy, on top of taking care of a family, trying to get back to work or go back to work. It was way, way too much. And so for me, society has pinned lawyers as bad guys, which is sad. Because most lawyers that I know, and I think most lawyers in general, became a lawyer because they wanted to help. They wanted to do the right thing. And in my opinion, we would not need any lawyers when it comes to personal injury if the insurance would just do the right thing. If the insurance would just say, your policy says this, there it is. Because at the end of the day, there's not enough accidents. I think, and I don't know the numbers, I think insurance companies would still be profitable had they just followed their policies and just paid out when it's justified. Not saying, oh, it's $50,000 and giving you a check. No, saying, oh, look, you have all these damages. We're not going to nickel and dime you. We're not going to beat you up. Here's your money. Or sorry it happened. I think they'd still be profitable. But instead, they want to hold back all this money. It's a game of how much can they keep and how much can they pay. So they're keeping all this money, and so you got to get a lawyer to open their fist up a little bit to let something fall out. But society says lawyers are bad. No, they're not. Lawyers are doing a great service. It's like telling me my plumber's bad. Man, my toilet's backed up. He's my hero.
Yeah, he is.
right? Why is it that we would hire a plumber to come out and do it, but yet I don't want to hire a lawyer? Oh, no. I'll pay the flat rate at Harley Davidson for my bike
Yeah.
because it's done right. But yet when it comes to my well-being, my financial situation, and my health, I'm not going to hire a lawyer. They're shady. They're dirty. What? Where did you come up with that notion? Like,
Yeah.
it's a weird world that we live in where lawyers are pinned to be the bad guy. And I think it's Hollywood. I think Hollywood's really pinned lawyers as bad guys. But I think most lawyers really set out to be a lawyer, and they went to that extra schooling and dedication, certifications. I mean, most people don't know this. Lawyers have to get what's called CLE credits every single year to actually stay in good standing with the state bars. So they go to continuing education. Other professions don't do that, but yet they're great. You know, doctors, we all say, oh, become a doctor. It's a very reputable profession. It's a good thing to do, and it is. I mean, I know a couple of doctors, but still I call them and they refer me to somebody else typically.
Well, they're specialized.
They're specialized.
They're specialized.
And lawyers, yes, advertise because they want to help. And I think society goes, oh, they shouldn't advertise and they're greedy and they make all this money. No, they don't understand. Yeah, they make money, but 9 times out of 10, my instance, go back to my example, I actually made more money off of my accident when I had a lawyer than when I didn't. That's because the lawyer was able to get more money out of the insurance company. It fully eclipsed their fee. The lawyer that I had through the Law Tigers actually got my medical bills reduced, so I didn't pay as much there. That was worth the value in gold to me because I didn't have to pay as much to the hospitals. They reduced their fees. The lawyer then got paid. I put more money in my pocket as to when the accident I did it myself. I had to pay full retail price to the hospitals. The insurance gave me less money, and I had to do all that work for it. Where the lawyer, it was almost effortless, had to go through my cycle and my process, and I healed quicker when I had the lawyer. I think, personally, that's just me because I don't think I was mentally as stressed. I could focus on physical therapy. I could focus on doing what I need to do to be healthy, not, oh, I got to send that paperwork, or, oh, they put a deadline on me, or, oh, I got to take a recorded phone call now. Am I going to say the wrong thing? Insurance plays all those games. They'll tell you all the time, recorded phone call. Oh, no, I deny those. Nope, I will not. I don't consent to it. Give me a phone call that's not recorded.
Yeah.
Because they want to slip you up. They want you to say, oh, now, you made a mistake, though, right? Like, you were distracted, right? No, I was not distracted. Do not try to coach me into that.
Wow.
They're trying to save their money. So to me, it's, we need to change society and realize that lawyers do a good community service. There's always a bad egg, though, right?
Yeah.
Bad egg will ruin the bunch. But, we at the Law Tigers, we pride ourselves in being motorcycle riders who exclusively take care of motorcycle riders, founded by riders, ran and operated by riders, because that's who we are. We've been through accidents personally. We've got clients. We have countless employees that have been involved in stuff, and that's who we focus our attention on. So for us, it's an easy answer. If you've been involved in a motorcycle accident, why would you ever call anybody who's not a rider? Why would you never call Law Tigers? Call somebody who's an expert. Call someone who does that every single day.
Nice.
Sorry, that's a big sales pitch for you, man. I'll tell you, because I'm passionate about this because
I can see your passion.
I've been there. I know what it's like. It's impacted my life.
Yeah.
And the whole time I was doing it by myself, I felt like I was doing the right thing. I felt like I was coming out ahead. Not that I was trying to make money off of my accident, but I was going to be able to survive and make through. And I did make it through. But it was so much work to do that, where when I had the Law Tigers, it was effortless. It was easy. And it's just, that's the service that a law firm can provide. That's what we try to provide as Law Tigers, is taking care of riders, because when a motorcycle rider has an accident, we hit the ground.
Yeah.
We get hurt, and we need someone there to back us and support us in that recovery. And that recovery is not just the physical, it's financial, it's paying those bills. I mean, we talked earlier, who's paying the mortgage when you're not working?
Yeah. I mean, the bills don't stop.
Yeah.
They don't stop.
And sometimes the Amazon boxes just keep coming. I don't know how that happens, but got to shut that down, and I've got to be able to live through this. And so it's just, hiring a Law Tigers attorney is just, in my opinion, we advertise and tell people all the time, if you've been involved in a motorcycle accident, the first thing you do, after you've called the authorities, called your loved one, what have you, is don't ever call the insurance company. Call the Law Tigers first. You don't need to tell the insurance. We will do that for you. We will handle that for you. But the insurance is going to try to wrap you into this long game. They're going to bog you down. They're going to tie you down. No, you don't need to worry about that. You need to worry about your family, worry about your motorcycle, worry about your health. Let the Law Tigers handle it. Do not call an insurance. The Law Tigers will do that for you. Let us handle it. We'll take care of it.
Nice. Well, yeah. I mean, if I crash a motorcycle anytime
Don't
soon,
do
I'll
it.
be calling you.
Just don't do
I'll
it.
be calling you.
And it's not you, right? Back to insurance. We can't trust other motorists.
No. Well,
Distracted driving's huge right now. We've got a little bit of self-driving cars going on. How many drive-throughs do we have? When's the last time you went through Chick-fil-A or In-N-Out? Those drive-through lines are massive. How many people are actually eating on the roadway? And here you and I are out there trying to enjoy a nice afternoon ride, and he dropped his French fries.
whether you're walking, riding, I mean, even driving in a car,
Yeah.
you better be aware, because there's people, they look like they're drunk, but they're really just like taking a picture of themselves, right?
Yes, they're texting.
They're texting.
I watched a guy in Dallas, Texas. We were riding in Dallas, Texas not too long ago. No joke, had a phone mount up on his dash. Phone was turned horizontally, and I couldn't tell he was watching some type of a program, show, TV show, YouTube, don't know what it was. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Well,
And nowadays, my opinion, our attention span is getting shorter and shorter. So how do you introduce something else while you drive? Because now I'm going to be focused on that. I'm not focused on the roadway.
no.
Or it's, I drive this highway all day, every day. I know exactly what it's like. I could drive it blind. Sure, you can with nobody else on here, but I'm here.
Yeah.
And I want to go home. So it's distracted driving, I think, is a big deal. So we've got to be vigilant. You've got to keep your head on a swivel and be prepared for it. And I don't think it's going away anytime soon unless the cars become completely autonomous and they drive themselves.
I think that's coming, but not soon.
I
That's coming, but
agree.
not soon.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I would be more afraid of deer right now in this part of the country than I would
Yes.
of autonomous cars.
100%.
Because you are a lot more likely to get hit by a
Ain't that
deer
the truth? Yep.
than to even see an autonomous
Yeah,
car.
and you can't blame the deer. They're just doing. We put that road in their way, so they're
Hey.
just doing them.
It's mating season. They got to run around. It's
Exactly.
what they do.
Yep.
It's what they do. Well, I really appreciate you coming in today,
Oh,
Lyonel.
thank you, man. This is great. And it's just something that we're so passionate about. And on top of that, the way that we as the Law Tigers want to support, like, your audience, like those dealers, like, what do we do to support them is, we want people to know that we do this.
Mhm.
So we pride ourselves in working within the dealer community. Local events. You and I were talking earlier. The Law Tigers is so proud to help the local motorcycle riding community that we probably partner, sponsor, and get involved in over 3,700 events around the country. And those are big and small. That's the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, and that's the local toy drive that's going to happen this December to raise toys for, the homeless shelter. Whatever that may be, we want to be there because we are such a tight-knit community of motorcycle riders that not only do we want to represent them if they've been involved in an accident, but we want to represent you in your day-to-day life. The mission statement of the Law Tigers is actually to be the resource that the motorcycle community turns to when in need. And that need can be anything.
Wow.
Legal advice, legal representation, financial donations and support for charity events, planning events, organizing events, whatever it may be. We want to be there to support the motorcycle industry because that's who we as Law Tigers are a part of. That's what I eat, breathe, sleep, that's me. And we want to continue to support and help our industry from every aspect. We want to be that resource because I can't trust anybody else.
Yeah.
But I trust my brothers and sisters that ride the roadways with me on their motorcycles. They are time-tested, proven, true, and those are the people that I care about. Those are the people that I want to associate with, and I want to help. I want to make sure that my community is growing, not dying. So that's how Law Tigers, that's why we do what we do, is we get involved like that to support the industry.
That's awesome. 3,700 events a year is a lot. I mean,
It's
that's
a lot.
A lot of events.
It's a lot going on. And again, some of them are, unfortunately, sometimes they flop, right? It rained out this event, and this one was massively huge, and we didn't realize it. But I actually lose track with the team at times of, okay, everything that is going on, because there is just so much. There are so many events that happen that are, your big annual events, and then this is a first-time event, this is a good cause event, this is a bad cause event. There's good and bad with everything.
Yeah.
But that shows you the community of the motorcycle riders, and that's why we are so proud to be in the niche market that we are of motorcycling, because motorcycle riders will spend money to ride a public road that their tax dollars have already paid for just because it's the brotherhood of you and I get to go ride it together to raise money for that child or for that organization.
Oh, it's everywhere, every day. It's going on.
And dealers love it because it brings us all the dealerships. We buy the T-shirts, we eat their hot dogs, I get tires and services and everything done. And so that's why the dealers do it. So for us at Law Tires, it's a great way to give back to that dealer network because we can support them and show them that we're there for them.
Yep, it definitely helps them with their retention.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
keep people swinging that door.
Well, I hope you do another 3,700 events in the coming year.
I hope we do 4,200. Let's go more.
4,200,
Yeah, we got to do more.
And I might take you up on Sturgis.
Let's do it. I'll take you out there. We'll show you a good time.
Thank you for taking the time to join us for this Motorcycle Power Sports News Power Players. I'm your host, Brian Ankney. Today our guest has been Lyonel Gammon from the Law Tigers. We hope to see you again on a future episode. Check us out at motorcyclepowersportsnews.com.